Ladies and gentlemen, WWE is in Toronto for Money in the Bank. Welcome back to another pre-show PLE episode. My name is Ryan. What up, Alex?
What's going on?
Money in the Bank is one of the highest anticipated PLEs every year, and it changes lives, changes careers. Sit back, relax as we give y'all our predictions for the show.
Derek.
Well, I'm excited for this fucking shit, man. Money in the Bank is one of my favorite events every year. It almost never disappoints. Like the winners are
Dude,
always good. Well, not always, but
that,
most of the time.
there's that. And honestly, just having that like accolade on your resume is good. And plus, it's a wild card thing. It's literally anytime, anywhere within a year time span.
And right, we've already seen it happen twice at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Once in the main
Damian
event.
Priest. Yeah,
We've seen it be cashed in on the same night it's been won. We've seen it cashed in on almost a year later.
Yeah. So Damian and Seth at WrestleMania. Both pulled the biggest heist of the century.
And Seth's was better.
Seth's was like so much better. But like just seeing that look on Drew's face was just amazing.
Yeah,
and Punk's smile was just an awesome, dude.
But with that being said, let's move into the match card, ladies and gentlemen. Just like always, we don't necessarily know if this is going to be the match card that they actually do, but this is the match card that makes most sense to us and based on like, just what we think and all that, But we're going to open our predictions with the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. It is Naomi, Chelsea Green, Io Sky, Lyra Valkyria, Tiffany Stratton, and Zoe Stark.
It's Tiffy time.
It's Tiffy time. I got Tiffany Stratton walking out with that briefcase. Well. I want it. We've been saying it for weeks. I want it to be turned pink and give it some bejeweled diamonds.
Need it. Just need it because you got Queen of the Ring, you got Princess of the Ring, and the women's Money in the Bank.
Straight up, I don't think they've ever really had like that kind of a pairing of a world champion being next to or being paired with the Money in the Bank briefcase holder, and they're like a partnership, really.
Wasn't Bailey and Io like that at one point? Or am I not remembering correctly?
I don't think Bailey won the women's title.
No, Io was carrying it around since SummerSlam. That's right.
Yeah.
I say if you count the women's championship, then yeah, you got Damian and Mommy, the Terror Twins.
Yeah, right. You got them. They were rocking out there for a while. But I'm excited. I'm really Tiffany's like the only person out of this ladder match that I can realistically see walking out with it. Maybe Chelsea though.
Chelsea just because, like we said last episode, just because of the Divas thing. But honestly, I can see Naomi walking out with it too.
Yeah, Naomi would be a good pick. She's super underrated, I think, and deserves something big to happen to her.
Yeah, that's an underrated pick for sure, I'd say. Out of all the 6 women that are in there. Well, honestly, I'd say the dark horse, though, would be Zoe Stark.
That's a good pick. Not even gonna lie. I mean, I'm not a big Zoe Stark fan, but
Triple H
is big on her for the most part. So I wouldn't be surprised if she did win, and this starts a big push for Zoe on the Raw.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't be mad, but I think I'm still a little upset Dakota Kai didn't win her qualifier on Monday.
Yeah, that's a little upsetting, but I think that's folding more into the damage control storyline where Io is kind of like blowing up on on Kyrie and Dakota, yeah.
Do you think when Asuka comes back, Io kind of manipulates Asuka and gets her away from Kyrie?
I don't know, because I've actually seen reports that Asuka is out until 2025.
Like, really?
Her recovery is going to be a while.
So wasn't that like her knee or something like that?
Yeah, it's her knee that got hurt. But reports are saying she's out for a long time, unfortunately. But I was going to pitch an idea involving Asuka. Maybe have Io at some point. Maybe you can drag this out that long. Say they do. And then at some point, Io turns on both Dakota and Kyrie, lays them both out until Asuka comes out to make the save for both of them. And then you can do Asuka versus Io.
Okay.
Just an idea.
Where could you put Io though? if she's a singles competitor, because Asuka's already established herself as one. I personally haven't seen much from Io in WWE as a single star. I've only really seen since Damage Control. So I mean, and I know her work in NXT is highly like, what is it? Highly no, what is it? Like highly, it was highly talked about. Like she was really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know for a fact she was really good. I'm pretty sure she was a women's champion at some point in NXT. I might be wrong on that.
I think she was.
She was definitely. I remember her being women's champion. Bailey beat her.
Yeah, I remember that.
I'd love to see her at some point in the future, in the next couple of years, win another world title to really establish herself more and just keep on having bigger matches.
I mean, bad. I just like if you want another world title, then you can establish your nickname as Genius in the Sky. So
straight up, put her in all the women's War Games matches still too.
Yeah,
constantly. That's like her stable matches, the women's.
I mean, Io could set history too with this Money in the Bank match. She could be the first back-to-back winner.
For the women's side, she could be. The only other person to ever do that is CM Punk, baby.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. But let's move on to the Intercontinental title match. Sami Zayn versus that dog, Braun Breaker. I have got, unfortunately, I would love to see Braun Breaker just steamroll this dude, but I actually got Sami Zayn walking out with the win.
I want Braun to win.
Oh, that'd be so awesome.
Breaker to win.
That'd be it's such a star-making performance. Do you like what they did for Brock at SummerSlam 2014 when he did John? Just wrecked him for a while, where it wasn't like an immediate squash match, but it was a squash match.
Yeah.
That would be insane. I'd love something like that. But I have Sami actually just being able to barely, maybe with like a roll-up or like after an outside interference that he doesn't like see or want to happen or something from like either
something happens out of his control
to start to set up potentially the fatal four-way between Breaker, Zayn, Sheamus, and Kaiser. Hopefully, if he's recovered in that time at SummerSlam.
I think broken ribs are like 6 weeks.
Hell yeah, bro! I'm really hoping out for that match. And
I'm saying if he's not going to be fully recovered, it should be like right at the end of his recovery is when that match or that's when SummerSlam happens.
Hell yeah, I'd love to see him like last minute insert himself in that match. Maybe they can hype up a triple threat the entire time, only for Kaiser to last minute be like, "I'm cleared, bitches, and I want in this bitch," and then he qualifies or something like that.
Yeah,
love to see it.
Like a qualifier, basically let all four of them run loose on each other, and then Adam Pearce gets so upset. You want a match at SummerSlam? All right, you got it. Fatal four-way for the Intercontinental Championship. Sami Zayn, Braun Breaker, Sheamus, and Ludwig Kaiser. It is official.
It's official. Hell yes.
I'd
love to see that shit, man. But yeah, I got Sami walking out. You got Breaker.
Yeah.
Any more for the IC?
Yeah, I want Breaker to win this because, I mean, he's been terrorizing the entire Raw roster. I mean, why not just throw a title on him, make him more of a kind of, in the sense of a threat, but kind of see what he can do with the title on his waist while he's champion to see how fast you really could push him to the top and really make him a world champion.
Yeah, seriously, like that was put a rocket on his back and skyrocket him straight to the moon.
I mean, you could do what you did with Randy Orton. You can do the same thing with Roman Reigns. I mean, you can do the same thing with fucking Seth Rollins. Like, you can really push these young guys, and go so far with them. But I mean, right now, I mean, look at the young guys we got. We got Braun Breaker, Ilya, we got Melo, Corbin's back on the main roster. I mean, we got talent, but the only one that's really shown anything that's really pushing right now is Braun Breaker. Melo's kind of in the dark. Ilya is kind of in the dark. Corbin being back up on the main roster is kind of in the dark.
I'll tell you, Gunther's up there. I don't know his age. I don't know if he'd be considered in that younger
I think
group,
Gunther's like
Gunther
late 20s. I think he's like 28.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the Ring General.
The King General.
The King General. Oh,
hell yeah.
He's got that match at SummerSlam, dude. I mean, whoever wins at Money in the Bank between Rollins and Priest, dude, that I hope it's a stellar match because, I mean, like I was saying last episode, And what I'll probably be saying next episode, if Rollins beats him, I mean, Damian to me is a transition champion. And I hate to say that because he's got the legitimacy to be an actual world champion. He really does. It's just like the way he carries himself and like his promo skills aren't the best. Like I don't think any Judgment Day has really good promo skills, but they're all not shit. They're not great. They're like right there. Like they're right on the cusp of being good. Dom can't get a fucking word out, so you never know.
Yeah, who knows if Dom's a good talker now? We can never hear him.
Yeah, we'll find out whenever he turns face. So, but if he turns heel, or if he stays heel and goes with Liv, we're gonna have some issues, and Mommy's gonna come back and start whipping some asses.
Mommy's gonna come back and start whooping ass.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Lay the smackdown on that jabroni.
She'd be smacking. Never mind. I can't say that. That's not PG.
That's not PG.
That's not PG. I mean, in the sense we're not PG with the cussing, but my thought was that's not PG. Never mind. We're gonna be smacking Liv around though. Dude, they should. You know what they should do? They should damn near have Rhea squash Liv, Brock Lesnar style.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, they really should. They should have
Brock Lesnar style.
They should have. No, you know what would be really great is like. So Dom and Liv are hyping up this whole like idea that we're together, we're not together, but secretly behind the scenes, I think we all know that they kind of are.
Yeah.
What if at SummerSlam, Dom is like, so he's trying to play on screen that he's not with Liv. So he's like, Liv,
yeah,
I've got you a match set up. Yeah, he's like, Liv, I got you a match set up for SummerSlam. You know, like. It's gonna like you ain't gonna walk out of this one with a dub. Like you're fucked in this one. And Liv's like, oh Dominic, you just set me up for like an easy win. I appreciate you. Like Liv thinks Dom's giving her like an easy win and shit. Or maybe you can spin it in a way that like they know, or Liv is like set up for a trap or something, and then that's when Rhea Ripley comes back.
Kinda, dude. Honestly, so I like that. What do you think about adding on to the fact of keeping it a mysterious, like, oh, who's Liv's gonna be exactly. SummerSlam opponent? Like they keep him guessing, like you said, like they keep us guessing for weeks and weeks and weeks. And then finally when Liv comes out, we hear Rhea's music and
this is my brutality.
There's no roof on that stadium, but the roof's gonna blow off. I'm telling you.
Yeah, seriously.
There's no enclosed roof. It's an open stadium.
Or maybe Dominic plans it out to be somebody else, and then you just see them get like wiped the fuck out backstage before the match happens, and everyone's like, well, who took out Liv's partner or something like that, and Liv thinks like Dominic helped her or something like that, when all of a sudden, this is my brutality plays, and you see both of them just shit themselves.
I would be mad. Because Dom could be like, oh, it's Zelina, or it could be, you know, Shayna, you know, keep it like an easy opponent like you were saying. But in reality, dude, I really am thinking, I think Dom and Rhea are working together, but they're keeping it a secret as well.
Really?
Because think about it, like Dom and Rhea have been together for what, about 2 years now on screen? And now that Liv's coming in, what if Dom's using Liv to get what he wants out of Liv, just so he can keep her distracted long enough to get the world title back off her and giving it to Rhea?
Would that be enough to turn Dominic face?
Honestly,
would that get Dominic cheered?
but the way it's looking right now is that with his social media presence and everything, and him on screen are two different people. Dom's social media presence is literally, every time I log on, I see a Liv Morgan post, who liked it? Dominic Mysterio.
Straight up. I don't know what all that's about, man.
If that really is the case, that would be awesome. I mean, I would like the fact that the surprise opponent too. Because then, I mean, I don't know. You can keep Liv on her toes, because then she's really like, okay, I really might lose my world title up, you know, SummerSlam. Or we can see for weeks that, you know, Liv's getting beat up in the back when nobody knows who it is, And turns out it's Rhea been beating her ass all week, or these past few weeks. And what happens with Rhea is, so at SummerSlam, they show us on like the Titantron or whatever the big like screen is in the middle. And like they show us, okay, this is what happened these few weeks, what happened on Raw with Liv and her mysteriously being attacked. And this is where you play in, okay, now this is going to be the mystery person Liv's going to be fighting tonight at SummerSlam. And we see it on screen and the camera pans out just like it did with Dragon Lee and Carlito. And it's Rhea who's been beating Liv's ass this entire time. Yeah. And like I said, with the whole Dom thing, Dom, quote unquote, comes to Liv's aid. He doesn't actually give a shit about Liv. He just cares about that women's championship and getting it back on Rhea, like we've been saying for weeks, and like how Dom's been trying to prove, but he keeps fucking up. I'm just saying this at some point. I think Dom should just hit Liv with the chair. This is two matches now. This is 2 matches. The one with Becky Lynch in the steel cage, and then the match with Zelina this past the Raw. I'm saying fuck it. Bring it Attitude Era style. Bring it back. Fuck it. Chair shots to the head. Liv Morgan ain't surviving. Liv Morgan's getting that Mankind treatment from The Rock, but instead from The Rock, it's from Dominic. Just whacking shit at it. Yeah. Every hit's a yeah. And everybody's just going absolutely nuts for Dominic.
Let's go, Dom. Let's go, Dom. Let's go, Dom.
That's how you turn him face. Steel chair headshots. No, I'm playing.
Damn
We don't condone violence to women. Unless it's like wrestling, then whatever.
Outside of the confines of our own homes.
Yes, we don't. Anyways, I don't know. You can play that storyline so many different ways, but I'm really excited to see how Tripp's gonna play it. Because I mean, I think the main way they're gonna play is how me been kind of predicting for weeks with this, and with Liv and Rhea, like Liv and Rhea. Liv's gonna have a match at SummerSlam. It's gonna be against I don't know, let's go Sonya Deville. Let's work with that. Whatever. Since Sonya's back, and Liv and Sonya are fighting it out and everything, and as Liv for the pin, all we hear is, "This is my brutality!" And Liv's like, "Oh, shit." Seeing Rhea walk out the top of the stage, Rhea does like a little finger wave, like, "Hey, I'm back." She goes, "Mommy's back." And basically the whole Randy Orton, the Randy Orton thing. Yep, exactly. And have, basically, make Sonya the interim world champion, or have Sonya try to pin Liv. Liv kicks out, Liv hits an oblivion, end of the match. And Liv doesn't run up the ramp to get out, she runs through the crowd. Because she's actually scared shitless of Rhea instead of, since she's been playing these games these past weeks.
Right, really sell the fact that Rhea's here and now everyone is like, oh shit, Rhea's actually back now.
I'll say everybody's on watch. And I mean,
I'd love that. Keep Rhea on top of that division no matter what.
I mean, I don't think there's I think I'm gonna go back on top, like to kind of go back to like the women's ladder match in a sense, with me having Tiffany win. If we go back, like I want to go back and look at SummerSlam. What if we get the Rhea spot at SummerSlam, but instead of Tiffany cashing in on Liv or Sonya, she cashes in on Nia after Nia beats Bayley. And she beats Nia.
After she beats Bayley?
After she beats Bayley, have Tiffany cash in, beat Nia, and be like, Nia's like, what the hell? We were supposed to be a team. Da, 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 da. And Tiffany's like, yeah, I only used you for my own personal gain. I mean, your old ass can't really do much except just plop on people when I'm over here doing the prettiest moonsault ever.
Prettiest moonsault ever. Damn straight.
Oh, baby.
I like the idea of maybe her taking, maybe not at SummerSlam, maybe take it to WrestleMania. Let Tiffy be the first woman to cash in at WrestleMania. And have it be on Nia during whatever world title match she's presumably going to be in if she holds it for that long.
Not a bad idea.
Mm-hmm. Just a thought.
Yeah.
But are we ready to move into the next match, though? The Bloodline six-man tag.
Yeah.
Is the WWE. Yeah. Yeah, we'll get to him. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is the WWE Undisputed Champion Cody Rhodes teaming with Randy Orton, Kevin Owens versus the Bloodline. It is Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and Jacob Fatu.
Before we actually get into who we want to win, I seen that WWE had to get involved with Canadian officials, and Triple H had to step in and be like, "Hey, we understand this guy's dangerous, but if we keep him under, if we keep him under control, we keep security around him, or whatever it may be, then will you let him in?" And which is why we got Jacob there, because we almost didn't get Jacob. Or, if you know, you know, like we said last episode, same thing about Jacob. If you know, you know. The Fatus almost didn't make it, or Jacob and Jaden almost didn't make it.
Yeah, they got in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, that's what it is. But I mean, I think with this, I believe I have it written down the Bloodlines winning.
You do. And I also have the Bloodline walking out with the win. And I'm going to go the extra mile and say Solo pins Cody Rhodes to set up SummerSlam.
Okay.
Because that's apparently what the rumored main event is going to be. Solo versus Cody. And we've been talking about how maybe that's where Roman comes back. So I think if they are going to do Solo versus Cody, this is where you should probably have Solo pin him so he can be like, "Hey, I beat the champion. I should have a title shot now."
Honestly, hear me out. What if Roman gets involved, right? Distracts Solo, but what if Randy gets involved and RKO's Cody?
Ooh, during or after the match?
Yes.
Yes, I like it.
I think after the match is more realistic, but during the match, that would set up a huge plot twist.
It would. Damn, that'd be nuts.
Agreed.
But yeah, I would like to see that happen after the match, hopefully, to set up. Because, I think we talked about it in the last episode, like, Cody's WrestleMania feud doesn't have to be The Rock. Like, I would honestly rather it be Randy Orton than The Rock at WrestleMania 41 that he fights.
I don't want to see The Rock and Cody because I think The Rock did enough in the build-up to WrestleMania 40 that seeing a match with The Rock and Cody feuding, because essentially it was basically The Rock and Cody feuding the entire fucking time.
Yeah, it was pretty much just them feuding.
Yeah, we never got the match out of
Cody and Mama Rhodes.
Yeah. Mama Rhodes!
Mama Rhodes! This is your boy's blood, Mama Rhodes!
I mean, it's more or less like, I think the storyline was good enough. I don't think we actually need a Rock versus Cody match. But that's just me. I don't know about you.
Definitely a wrestling nerd because I will lose my shit when that match happens. But logically, it makes more sense to do Roman versus The Rock at WrestleMania 40.
Yeah.
Or 41, I'm sorry. 41.
Vegas.
Because that's what we're talking about next year's. Because it does just feel like we're building to the bloodline, the real bloodline civil war now. Roman, the Usos, maybe Sammy versus Solo, the Tongans, Fatu, and assumedly The Rock eventually. Which is where you do eventually set up Roman and Rock at Mania.
Bloodline rules.
Bloodline rules for the head of the table.
No. Tribal combat.
Tribal combat. Hell yeah. Tribal combat bloodline rules with the Ula Fala hanging from the roof. Get it from a ladder. Hell yeah. I'd love to see Rock do some shit like that. He'd get hurt.
Dude, that'd be some wild ass shit.
That'd be wild.
Put the Ula Fala up in the middle.
Well, I do got Bloodline walking out of this one with I got Solo pinning Cody, or maybe even Jacob pinning Cody.
I don't think Jacob gets that pin just yet. We'll see.
Or if anything, Jacob pin like Randy or something to like
boost
funny? Jacob up as that enforcer character. What you got?
Yeah, I think it's actually kind of funny that Tonga Loa kind of got pushed to the side as soon as Jacob stepped in. You notice that?
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
But I mean, like I mentioned it a while ago. Did you ever end up going back and looking at what the Tongans did when Jacob Fatu debuted?
Yeah, they kind of had like this weird expression on their face of like, "Oh shit, that's Fatu. What the hell?"
Yeah, they were like, "Oh shit, what the hell's going on?" Like to me, that was like, "Oh shit, that wasn't told to us."
Yeah, that was
In a
like an oh
sense,
shit, like what the fuck is he doing here? Like
but I
even they
mean,
knew how dangerous he was and they weren't expecting him to show up.
oh yeah,
That's
I
kind of
mean,
what I got
Tama,
from
he's
it.
just a fucking animal as is. He's that the MFT, and you
His
got
noises.
Jacob as the enforcer. What the hell is Tonga Loa?
He's the infamous Tongaloa, remember?
Yeah,
That's what they call him. I don't know what he
that's
actually
weak.
is.
That's
Yeah.
weak.
You got the new right hand man in Tama, you got the enforcer in Tonga, and then you got the new Jimmy.
For real, that actually is a new Jimmy.
Speaking of which, I've seen actually people throw out the ideas that Jimmy Uso might actually get involved in this, with the Bloodline having an extra man on their team.
Oh yeah, like I told you yesterday when we were hanging out, that Jimmy Uso is going to be on Friday Night SmackDown. Or
Jimmy
it's rumored to be on
Uso.
Friday Night SmackDown, wherever it is.
Hell yeah. Come back, Goose. We miss him.
That's what I'm saying.
Even though he says no yeet, we like to yeet.
I think he's
Speaking
going to start
of,
eating.
I'm gonna start yeeting. Yeet!
Yay!
Yeet! We are ready to start yeeting into the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Do you have anything else for that tag match?
I do not.
Well, that does move us into the men's ladder match. Jey Uso, yeet! If you want to see Jey Uso win Money in the Bank, let me hear you say yeet!
Yay!
Yeet! And Carmelo Hayes versus
don't miss.
Andrade El Idolo versus L.A. Knight. Yeah!
Whose game is it? What that everybody saying?
L.A. Knight. Yeah! We then got the Master Chad Gable, because he still sucks,
Still sucks. Well, forever
versus
sucks.
Drew McIntyre.
He's a
Love
menace.
this guy.
Every time he does his entrance, he gets up on the ropes, his veins just pop. And I'm like, dude, you take steroids.
I'm like, bro, what are you on? It's like you. It looks like Drew. Every time I see Drew McIntyre, it looks like Drew McIntyre ate the Drew McIntyre that used to be in 3MB.
Ate him up, spit him out.
Straight up, bro. It was like insane. Speaking of the man himself, I got Drew walking out with the belt, or not the belt, the briefcase.
Jay. Uso!
Uso!
I got Jay winning this. With Jay winning this, I say this kind of sets up something along the future of if, say, Drew were to win the World Championship later down the line, we could see, they kind of revisit Jay and Drew's history, or, just kind of give Jay a big moment, but make it make sense. Like, I don't know who you can really put it on right now, to be honest.
That's a good point. I've seen maybe put Uso in the mid card title scene with that briefcase.
Really?
Maybe have him hold it for a couple months, and then eventually he goes after the IC title or after the US title. I've seen people pitch.
That would be such a waste of a win, though, too. That wouldn't
Not
do anything
really.
for him.
Not really, because he's never even won a singles title before.
Right, but he wants the world title, though. Is what I'm saying.
Not if you spin it the right way. Gunther wanted the IC title right away, and he made that thing fire straight to the top. If you have Uso go on a great babyface run with that belt, if he just goes in, especially if he doesn't cash in a sneaky way, if he calls his shot beforehand. Imagine Uso wins the briefcase and walks up to Sami Zayn and says, "Yo, Us, SummerSlam," and then cashes in the briefcase there. And then it's a one-on-one match. He cashes it in beforehand like RVD did and like John Cena did to call their shot on when they want their title match, and it's Sami versus Uso for the IC title.
You know what I would do instead? I'd have Sami beat Jay in that situation, have Jay hold on to the IC, or not the IC, the Money in the Bank for a little bit longer, and either have him chase after the IC title again, or make him chase after the world title.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Money in the Bank's really meant for the world title, and it's not designed specifically, but the backhanded purpose of it is, okay, you have a free shot at the world title at any time. Probably one of the greatest. I'm not gonna lie, the greatest cash-ins ever was Dolph Ziggler on a Monday Night Raw in 2013. That was when he cashed in on Alberto Del Rio. That was one of the greatest cash-ins of all time, in my opinion. You also have. You know, Rollins at WrestleMania 31. You have holy shit. Why are we stopping? Okay, my bad. Yeah, you have just a bunch of other shit you can run by too, and it wouldn't do it like any bad, just to see what you could run with it, like having Jay go after like a world title. I mean, shit. You know what you really do? You could really fucking, like you said last episode, kind of do this that with Seth Rollins. You could really fucking do it with Jey Uso and have Jay go over to SmackDown and cash in on whoever the world champion is over there.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you could really rub it in Roman's face and be like, "I got your belt, Oos."
Exactly.
Yeet.
And I think what you could do with that is, even if you know you have that, you can say like Roman comes back, he's like, all right, look, you know, you got my world title, I get it, I know I'm sorry for everything I did to you and this, that, the other, but I need you to understand we have a bloodline to take down. That is a bloodline that is going to fuck up a lot if we don't fix this. I don't care about your world title, I just want you on my team. Can you do that for me, Oos? And Jay's like, you know what? He kind of sits back and thinks on it for a few weeks. And it's like right before, you know, the PLE, say it's like Royal Rumble time or it's like WrestleMania. Right before the PLE, he walks up to Roman. He goes, "Hey, Oos, I got your back. Let's do this shit." And that solidifies Jay finally coming. But now we still have a missing member of the bloodline because presuming Jimmy's going to join Roman, Jay's going to join Roman, like I just said. Presuming now we could see Zilla Fatu come in and be the fourth and final member, but he comes in at like whenever that PLE is. He doesn't like he's rumored. The name just gets rumored a bunch. Or Rikishi's fourth son comes in and plays that fourth member of the team. Because Rikishi has a fucking fourth son that I didn't know about until like 2 days ago.
Yeah, he's got a lot. Rikishi gets around.
Yeah, I mean, do you see the pictures of or Sika's funeral with the or with the whole Hawaii family?
Yeah, there's a lot of them there. Even Paul Heyman.
Roman was in shorts. No, I didn't see that.
Shorts. Yeah, I saw Paul Heyman was there. I saw Roman was in shorts. It was pretty funny.
that's kind of a good way to. Well, I mean, Heyman did manage the Wild Samoans at one point, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like I say, he's got deep history with this bloodline.
That's right. He's been with them for the entire time.
Honestly, Wild Samoans, the Headbangers, dude. Fucking the Usos now with Roman in the bloodline. This blood, yeah, I don't know. You can't ever recreate what Authentica did for the wrestling industry and the Anoa'i family.
Hell no.
They created a bunch of stars. And they created a bunch of stars that aren't Samoan, too. I mean, they had a school, I think it was out like Hawaii or something like that. And they would fly people out to help them learn the art of wrestling. So that was pretty cool.
Pretty dope. I do got this probably will this at least for my prediction. This Money in the Bank prediction ties into my World Heavyweight title prediction. I got Drew McIntyre walking out with the briefcase.
Okay.
Got Uso. Ready to hear about the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yerk.
Damian Priest versus Seth freaking Rollins with the gentleman's agreement between them that if Damian Priest loses, he leaves the bloodline. But if Seth loses, did I say bloodline?
Yes.
I'm dumb. I got Uso on the brain. Yay!
Yay!
Yay! But if Seth loses, he cannot challenge for the world title as long as Priest is champion. But I got Seth Rollins walking out with the belt.
Oh, for real?
Yep.
Talk to me. I do too.
I want to hear you. I want to hear what you said. You got him too?
Yeah, I got it too. Like I said, I think Damian's a transitional champion. And to me, it makes more sense to take this title off of Damian, put it onto Rollins, and say your pick, Drew McIntyre, cashes in on Rollins at any point before SummerSlam. Have him either Gunther beat Rollins or have him beat Drew. Because those are the two people I could see more legitimacy behind Gunther's win than Damian.
Plus, can we just applaud the fact that Seth versus Gunther would be fucking classic?
That'd be a classic of a match, yes.
Oh, it'd be so good. It'd be so good. But for my let me ask you real quick before I dive into mine because I've thought about this one for a little bit. It's a common prediction that I've seen a lot of people have, but I've thought about this bitch. Do you have a Drew McIntyre getting involved at all in this World Heavyweight Title match?
Yeah.
Do you?
No.
You don't
I
see him
don't.
cashing? He's called his shot. Oh,
I don't know.
right.
Like I could see it for the fact of him keeping with his word, but I just don't see it personally.
Well, I
I don't
see.
know.
I see exactly that basically. So my whole setup is I've got like a multi-layered thing here. So we've got the whole thing walking into this where Damian leaves Judgment Day if he loses this match, and we've had this building tension between him and Finn Balor, him and Dominic, him and JD, Judgment Day as a whole because of this whole Liv Morgan situation. And we've also seen Liv Morgan, I mean, not necessarily, that hasn't been like the focus, but she's, I would imagine, trying to win Damian over as well as everybody else in the Judgment Day. So I could see a situation where because she's not part of the Judgment Day and Priest is like, I don't want none of the Judgment Day get involved in my business. We see Liv Morgan walk out during this match, and for a moment there, it looks like she's there to like help Priest or something like that. When all of a sudden he's distracted and she hangs him up on the ropes, just like she did to R-Truth for the tag team title match. Throws her world title underneath him, and Seth Rollins sees it, so he's like, okay, well, free world title, fuck it. Runs over and stomps Priest into the belt. There's a ref bump probably ahead of time somewhere, and then pins Priest right then and there for the world title. And Liv Morgan has kicked Damian Priest out of Judgment Day, Rhea Ripley's other terror twin.
I like that up until you said the world title, or Seth saying, fuck it, I'm just going to use the Women's World Championship to win this. Seth and Becky have proven themselves as legitimate champions that they don't need help. They don't want help. If they get help, they're not going to use the help.
Yeah, but this is also Seth's last chance.
Seth's last chance as long as Damian's champion. Gunther could either beat Damian if Damian wins, or, so like I said, your prediction, Drew cashes in, and basically, boom, now Rollins stipulations up just like that, or, up like that the same night, or it's, 4 weeks later down the fucking road.
Yeah.
So, I mean, either way, it's not a bad idea. I like the ideas you spit out. I like some of the you've definitely done, like more than mine.
I like the idea. The idea I'm kind of trying to go down towards that, where Seth is like, fuck it, I'll just use like Liv's help. Is that I kind of want Seth to go heel now, and I really want this to be like the start of him being like, he's kind of been like, not like being mean to Damian. He's kind of been like, come on, Priest, you gotta like do this shit on your own. Like I've done it on my own. Like I've stood on my own 2 feet. You need to stand on your own 2 feet. Maybe this be like Seth, the very beginning of a Seth heel turn where he's like, okay, fuck it, I'll just win the title because I just want to win my world title and prove to everybody that I'm the damn champion because it's my belt. I brought it into the company, and the only reason that I lost it is because I decided to help Cody Rhodes, so I didn't really lose it on my own. And go through this whole narcissistic mentality role, and then when he eventually loses it to Gunther, have him completely break mentally, where he's like, what the fuck? I did everything right, only for Gunther to come in and just completely fuck me. Like, what the hell?
Right, or like, I see that because then it kind of plays into how he said he wants to reevaluate himself.
Right, where he kind of wants to go at this at a different angle. But
Yeah,
hell, I even have more into this prediction too.
What?
Where I do have Liv Morgan kicking Damian out of the Judgment Day by doing that, where she wants to take everything from Rhea. She'll take the Judgment Day. She'll take Damian out of the Judgment Day, everything like that. But Drew, my winner, I already said that this was going to tie in. After the match, Drew just walks down the ramp with a briefcase in hand and cashes in right then and there. After the match, where like Seth is like scrambling to his feet and he's like, oh shit, what the hell? I have another match right now. And Drew is like, right now, we're doing this right now. And Seth, out of desperation, as soon as that bell rings, pulls the ref right in between him and McIntyre, so the ref eats the Claymore, just like at 40, where Drew tried to Claymore him right out of the bell. But this time, he pulls the ref in the way. Another sign of Seth Rollins turning heel.
He's ready for it too.
And so this, they can like trade a stomp, trade a Claymore, whatever. They're both laying out now. And so CM Punk, of course, baby, walks out. He can jump out of the audience. He can crawl out from the ring, come down. Hell, his music can hit, make a full entrance out of it. But I eventually want to see like CM Punk standing in the middle of the ring. The referee's knocked out by a Claymore. He's holding the world title, and he has to pick Seth Rollins or Drew McIntyre, the two people that he hates most in this world. Which one of them does he let win the world title? And I have him pick Seth to win it still, because fuck Drew.
They have him play the screw Drew over stuff.
Yep, have him just throw the belt at Drew, and Seth can like stomp him into that belt next in order to win it. So he's accepted help from Liv Morgan and CM Punk in order to win that title, to show that he's really desperate to hold it.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of my whole. I got like a whole pitch for that thing. I've been thinking about it for a while.
I can tell. Damn.
I've been going deep on this shit, man. I'm invested in it.
I think I just passed the Lambo. I'm driving right now, ladies and gents, but we got the AirPods in. Don't worry. We have Ryan running the dock. But I think with this whole thing and Seth, I don't know. I'm still sitting on the fact of him holding on to his word and saying that he is a legitimate champion. I mean, yeah, you really could play it into the fact of him, like, him be the narcissist, like how he has to reevaluate himself. But I mean, you could also play it in the fact of that Seth, I mean, like you said, I don't know. I'm confused on how this whole thing would work, to be honest. Like, I'm excited to see how they play it.
You want him to stay honorable and keep his word and be like a fighting babyface champion, but you still want him to win.
Yeah, because like I think he already had his heel run. I think his heel run's over. He had his heel run like mid 2010s. Like it was like 2014 to like 20, like what was like 18 or whatever. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. I think that was good enough. I think that's just me personally. I like Rollins as a babyface. He connects with the fans a lot better. But I mean, we've also had the heels where they connect with fans and the fans are cheering the fucking heels.
That's true.
We've seen it multiple times this year.
Oh yeah, Tiffany Stratton's getting cheered everywhere she goes, and she's supposed to be a heel.
Yeah, it's Tiffy time.
It's Tiffy time.
Man,
I'm set for a banger of a show. No matter what, bro. Money in the Bank almost never disappoints, if you ask me. At least the ladder matches don't. They're always fucking great.
Yeah, always bangers. I do got a question for you though before we close this thing out.
I'm listening.
Top 3 Money in the Bank cash-ins all time.
Ooh, I've been actually kind of thinking about this one. The number 1 for me is Seth. Just period. Seth Rollins.
31. Okay.
At 31. And that was just. I remember sitting there. I was mad about Brock maybe winning. I was mad about Roman even being in the main event. I was settling. I was like, dude, the only thing I want is Brock Lesnar to win because he's the lesser of the two evils in my brain. And then Seth Rollins' music hits, and then the light from the heavens shines down, and oh my gosh, it's going to be okay. And then he wins, and oh, I was so happy for that. Number two is probably CM Punk's first cash-in. Pretty sure that was his
Jeff Hardy
face one. I think that was his. I can't remember which one that was. I think his first. No, it was the one on Jeff Hardy. But that one might have been the second one.
Or was the first
one on Jeff Hardy? The one on Jeff Hardy, where he cashed in on Jeff Hardy, because that started like a really good feud between him and Jeff, and just started like part of my favorite CM Punk like character of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And then probably Edge, the first one.
Okay.
Just
for me,
like, yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, there wasn't much to it. It was just like because John Cena was like the good guy for me, and then there was Edge, of course, right there.
Yeah. For me, I definitely do. WrestleMania 31. I think I would do. To be honest, I think I would do. I do Edges 100% on John Cena because that was the first one, and then I'm kind of stuck with saying EOS at SummerSlam 2023, or because she's still Bianca's moment there, or or probably my favorite Money in the Bank moment, but not cash in, was Carmella and James Ellsworth.
That was pretty awesome.
Like, the women's side. Probably my favorite men's thing was like, I don't know if Jeff Hardy was ever a Money in the Bank match, but every time Jeff Hardy fucking at it, you knew he was just going through one.
There was a match, I think it was WrestleMania 23, where Edge was laying out on a ladder and it was bridged across the barricade in the ring apron. And Jeff Hardy climbed this like 15-foot ladder, and Matt Hardy was just like, jump on him, kill him, not caring about his brother's health at all. And Jeff just goes for it. That was nuts. Well, another mention should be thrown out. RVD at a ECW One Night Stand, where he turned the entire crowd against John Cena.
The entire crowd was already against John Cena going into that.
Not a good point. There's no against for that man.
Yeah, if John Cena was not winning, and or where they were, there was no shot that place was going to be left standing by the time the PLE was, or the pay-per-view was over. No shot. ECW fans are a different breed. They're like Philadelphia Eagles fans. I mean, granted, ECW did start in Philly, so I'll give it that.
Yeah, they are the same. Really, the same set of fans.
Essentially, yeah. Good. Oh, man. I mean, shit. I think with all of this being said and Money in the Bank, I think we're in for a banger of a PLE. And we go from there to see what happens on Raw, really, because Raw is going to be the next thing after our post show that we cover and SmackDown, and we're going to see how it all plays out.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm hoping to see this. I didn't really touch on this and during the men's ladder match. I hope to see the Wyatt Six at some point appear and hopefully do something with Chad Gable in the ladder match. Maybe Nikki Cross comes in, pushes him off the ladder or something like that. Hopefully something happens with Chad and them.
Yeah, I think, honestly, you could really bring in a lot. You could bring in Jimmy helping Jay. You can bring in the Wyatt Six, screwing over Chad. You can bring in CM Punk screwing over Drew. You could... Who else in this match?
Logan Paul screwing over LA Knight.
Yeah, Logan Paul screwing over LA Knight. You could have a lot of that. You could have so much, but I feel like that would take away from the spectacle of the match, which I don't think is what they're going to do.
A perfect situation you could set up with that, where, say, the Bloodline or somebody comes from there, takes out Jey Uso. Andrade gets taken out by, what's his name? Santos and them, because he's been kind of feuding with them on SmackDown a little bit.
Yeah.
And then LA Knight gets taken out by Logan Paul. Chad Gable gets taken out by the Wyatt Six. Drew McIntyre by CM Punk. And then Carmelo Hayes just climbs the ladder because no one's after him. And then he grabs the briefcase.
Melo in the bank.
Melo in the bank.
I don't know how I feel about seeing Melo in the bank, to be honest. I mean,
I don't know about it. I don't think it's time. I don't think it's time for Melo to hold a world title yet. Maybe US or something at some point.
He needs the US. I think him and LA Knight should go at it because, I mean, now, if you really wanted to do it, you could really just say, fuck it, put Melo in a US title match against Logan Paul and LA Knight at SummerSlam, because now you have the biggest megastar in WWE, you have the internet star, and you have him. And Melo don't miss.
And Melo don't miss.
Melo does not miss.
Hell yeah. Well, with that being said, do we have anything else for the Money in the Bank pre-show before our predictions, Alex?
I do not.
All right. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to another episode of the AR Wrestling Podcast, where in this one we just went over Money in the Bank. We're ready for this PLE. I'm excited as fuck. It's my favorite every year. Make sure y'all follow us on Twitter. It is AR Wrestling _. Our Instagram is AR _Wrestling _. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio at AR Wrestling Podcast. Our YouTube is AR Wrestling. Make sure y'all subscribe. And we will catch y'all next time. Thank you.
Thank you.